Hi everybody, I'm Steve, and I'm here this morning, as you can see, in front of City Hall in downtown Los Angeles. You may recognize this building from the many movies and TV shows that it's appeared in. Probably the most popular is Dragnet. Back in the 1950s, it also appeared in The Adventures of Superman.
And in the 1960s, it appeared on the TV show Adam 12. As soon as it opens, I'm going to head to the top of City Hall and show you the view from the observation deck, which is free and open to the public. And then I'm going to head to the cemetery and show you the final resting place of actor Jack Webb, who you might remember starred in the series as Sergeant Joe Friday. Thanks for joining me on another trip down memory lane. As many of you already know, when I head into Los Angeles from Palm Springs, especially during the week, I always leave before sunrise to try to avoid some of the rush hour traffic. No matter how early I leave, there's always traffic, but this morning is really not too bad. And if I time it right, I arrive in LA just as the sun is coming up, and it gives me an hour or two to explore the city before most things even open up. Being an early bird has definitely helped me shave off hours of drive time to and from Los Angeles over the years. This is the First Street Bridge driving to downtown LA, and I feel like I've driven it many times because it looks so familiar, but that's just because it's appeared in so many different movies and TV shows over the years. Back in the 1970s and 80s, when I lived up here in the Los Angeles area, we didn't have metro trains or any kind of transit system other than buses, so it's kind of fun to see them on the streets today. A lot has changed since I used to live up here. Another bonus to being an early bird is that I get to park just a block or so away from City Hall and save quite a bit on parking fees. It still really blows my mind that parking meters are computerized and accept credit cards. And even more, the $3 an hour is considered pretty reasonable here in downtown LA and many other areas here in Southern California.
So I happen to be here in the middle of the week, so I'm just waiting for the observation tower to open. I try to visit Los Angeles on the weekends when there's a little bit less traffic. But in this case, I had no choice because City Hall, the observation deck, which is free to the public, is only open during work days, Monday through Friday, during business hours. So it opens at 8 o'clock. This historic and very iconic building opened in 1928, which makes it, I believe, 91 years old this week. It opened in April of 1928. And right across the street
is this sculpture called the Triforium. It was installed in 1975 and over the years has become something of a Los Angeles landmark itself. And at night it even turns into a music and light show.
And you've probably seen that in many movies as well. So how many movies can you think of or TV shows that have been filmed here? Share in the comments section below.
While I'm waiting for the observation deck to open, I'm going to take a quick walk up to the fountain at the end of the Grand Park here in front of City Hall. Then we'll head up to the deck and get a bird's eye view of the city. I just passed through security and got my visitor badge. Now I'm taking the express elevator up to the top.
So when you get out of the elevator, this is what you see. It's pretty grand. These are former mayors.
And this is the conference room on the very top floor. Pretty fancy. And definitely takes you back in time, doesn't it?
I love how most of this is really original. Look at these doors. It's a little bit of a hazy day. Oh, this is nice. It tells you what you're looking at. So this is southeast. I think that's the freeway I came in on there. Gotta get my bearings here. Boy, this is really impressive. Okay, so now this... Okay, this must be the south side, southwest side. In fact, yeah, I parked right down there. So while I was waiting for the tower to open, I walked the length of this park. It's called the Grand Park, and I'm embarrassed to say that I've lived here my entire life and never knew this was here. I had no idea there was a huge park in downtown Los Angeles. It's a well-kept secret, I guess. Another one of my favorite buildings there, the Disney Concert Hall, which is right at the end of the park. Well, I can't believe it took me all these years to finally get up here to the observation tower here at the top of City Hall in downtown LA. Better late than never though, I guess, right? So off in the distance behind me, you might be able to see the Griffith Observatory. That's Hollywood, right below the observatory. This is so impressive. Look at this. Griffith Observatory, 1935. That's right there on the hillside. Now my mom says that my grandfather worked in this building back in the day. She couldn't remember what he did, and I don't think he probably worked here for very long because he was a career military officer and he retired from the military in the 1960s. I think after he retired from the military he did do some work still because he was very young. The sirens are perfect for this vlog, right? Since I'm here in the Dragnet building. This is pretty interesting. The Dodger Stadium was built in 1962. It's up, I think you could probably see the lights there. 1814, El Pueblo, Union Station, 1939. I love these, the dates here. U.S. Post Office, 1940. Had no idea. Now, Union Station, which was built in 1939, is right there. Right in front of the big tall building, and you may remember that from many movies and TV shows as well. So now I'm going to head over, and if I can get there today, depending on traffic and time, I'm going to search for the final resting place of Jack Webb, who starred in and actually created the series Dragnet. He first started on radio shortly after became a TV series as well. So let's go see if we can find Jack Webb's final resting place, which I know which cemetery he is, and he's actually just right on the other side of those hills there where you see Griffith Observatory, right on the other side. So it should take me about a half hour or so to get there, so let's go see if we can find it.
I'm taking 3rd Street to the 5 freeway north to Forest Lawn Hollywood Hills. And if this 3rd Street tunnel looks familiar to you, it's like so many other locations in Los Angeles, it's appeared in many movies and TV shows over the years. Can you name any of the movies or TV shows that have filmed in this tunnel? And I'm sure glad I don't need to be in the left-hand lane to make a left turn at the next street. And with as many times as I've been here to this cemetery over the years, I had no idea that Jack Webb was buried here and that he's just right inside the front gate to the right. I only discovered it yesterday while doing a little bit of research for my trip today. For those of you who aren't familiar with Dragnet or Jack Webb, he was the creator and producer and star of the crime drama, first on radio from 1949 to 1957, and then later on TV from 1951 to 1959, and yet again from 1967 to 1970. And even after his death, the show was brought back to life in 1989 and again in 2003. Dragnet movies were also made in 1954, 1969, and even in 1987, starring Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks. According to his Wikipedia page, Webb died December 23, 1982, of an apparent heart attack at the age of 62. And even though he wasn't a real police officer, Chief of Police Gerald Gates retired his badge number 714, and Mayor Tom Bradley had all flags lowered for the day in Webb's honor. And apparently he was even buried with a replica LAPD badge with the number 714. Over the years, Webb had quite a number of sidekick co-stars, but the one I remember best was Officer Bill Gannon, played by actor Harry Morgan in the 1960s TV series. When Harry Morgan passed away in 2011 at the age of 96, he was cremated and has no final resting place to visit. I was going through a box of old photos the other day and discovered dozens of postcards that I picked up from my various trips over the last 20-30 years that I never sent to anyone. So some of these will finally be going out to future Patreon supporters. If you'd like to receive a postcard from me, check out the link below to my Patreon page for details. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you'll be notified when I upload future videos like this one. So until next time, thanks for sharing the memories.